Hi guys, I'm trying to do this reading over. This dog next door keeps barking, driving me crazy. I hope you don't have to hear it too much. And pardon the wound vac and any other background noise. I had trouble last time I tried to do this reading and post it up. The mic got blocked by some automatic stupid setting with Microsoft. There we go. Now my neighbor's yelling at her dog. Okay. We're going to look at Amanda Antony's case again, hopefully with some sound. And what can I say? Off camera, my readings are that it's an accident. I'm really not getting anything sinister. I'm getting a lot of issues that come up about balance and cards that speak about balance. Uh, Temperance keeps coming up. The Two of Pentacles keeps coming up. And I get a physical feeling of being dizzy. I kept getting that. And to the point when I was reading off camera that I really needed to I actually stopped reading on it for a while and then went back to it because I kept picking up. And I will have that happen sometimes. Not that often, but sometimes. And she was a very empathetic person, so maybe that's why I'm finding it where I can actually pick up on how I think she might have felt a little bit. And it was pretty strong feeling that was nauseating to me. And a head injury can certainly cause those things. And she had a piggy bank embedded in her skull um, here. So there would be a lot of bleeding with any kind of a head injury. I know that for myself from the car accident I was in that's left me paraplegic. Um, I experienced getting glass and gravel rocks stuck in my scalp, and it will cause a very unpleasant amount of blood loss. And if you're not seen to, um, and you're down there, and you can die of shock as well. And I tend to think that's what happened. Okay, but let's see. Is this an accident? Is Amanda's death, yes or no, an accident? Yes or no? I feel like this is her, and I feel like this is a yes. And she's showing me, and she keeps winning and showing me cards about forgiveness. Um, and I feel like because her husband made the mistake he did, I think that's something that stays with him. She also keeps showing me cards that show really strong bond despite, I think, whatever problems they had. I think she's very concerned for his peace and well-being, and she's still showing me. I feel like she's showing me an animal with this Page of Pentacles. I, again, do not believe that this was uh, anything sinister. I do believe it was an accident, unfortunately. What else is she going to show me with the world? I think, maybe bringing to conclusion an end of thinking there was something shady or untoward with this case. Maybe there, again, will be more details in the future that could yet provide a bit more insight or clarity into resolving for once and for all people their minds more clearly on the fact that I believe it was indeed an accident. I also get that this was part of her exit with the Wheel of Fortune coming up in the past, and now we have the world, and there's that sense of completion again of a life. I just feel like she's showing me that this was not, how it seemed to the naked eye. I got this too. I feel that she was wanting to try and feel better, but with that Seven of Cups, I feel like she feels a little loopy. I feel like she isn't thinking clearly for sure. She might have thought she was, but I'm telling you, I think she was while she was down in there in that basement. I think her movements were odd and not making sense the way she thought with these two cards. I also know that she used uh, cannabis to help with her migraines. It may have also contributed in being tired if she wasn't getting enough rest. Um, these feelings can also put somebody kind of in a bad place. And I could just kind of feel like she had that perfect storm going on. I'm just not getting the physical violence that I need to see in my cards to say, yeah, that looks like actually somebody's there putting hands on her or tripping her or tricking her, and getting her to do something. No. And she's keeps bringing up about moving on. There's a lot of hard work, bringing something to conclusion and peace, moving into more peaceful water, hard work and efforts. I feel like she wants to bring this case to a close. Again, I really do feel that she wants to try and laud those that are working on bringing her case to resolve. She knows that it can be confusing with the Seven of Cups, and given the environment looks, doesn't look too overturned in some ways, or rather, it didn't look right to people, and they wanted to keep an open mind, actually, too, with that Seven of Cups. Because there was a chair turned over, but I just think more things, if somebody had been there doing stuff, I think there would have been a bit more possible evidence of that. That's my feeling. Anyway, this was sudden and she wasn't expecting it. I'm getting kind of a numb feeling here with that, also with that Four of Cups. Um, I feel like again it's the dog. When I got here with the page, and I feel like she's at peace as well. It wasn't expected though, and this is a fall from a height. So with the tower, I just feel like the dog may have gotten startled, or may have startled her, and her movement may have startled the dog. That stuff can happen. And I think, given her situation, she didn't have great balance, and she unexpectedly fell. I just see it as an accident. I don't see somebody else there. I see her on her own, and I get the Hermit for her on her own. I think she's saying the law and will rule, and I just again feel like she's satisfied with what they show. It's like there's a release, there's the release of the Ten of Swords, and the new morning is rising from the dark, and that the law will bring the truth with its sword and its scales. So I think she's trying to tell people that they're doing a good job offering to help, being very helpful, and people just need to see this from a bigger perspective with judgment, and perhaps not judging the husband as the way that they are and everyone else, but this is looking at the bigger picture. And I think that she's looking at this from forgiveness. She feels at peace. She doesn't, I'm not getting any cards of that this was a plan to get insurance money, or um, because he was afraid she'd leave or whatever. No, I'm not getting that. So let me just go with another deck and double check because I like to do that. I'm going to use again the Hearts um, Eye Oracle. Last time I used this with no sound, I did get a card and cards about, like I said, about forgiveness and moving on. And let's just see what we get. So I'm going to shuffle these. I'm going to ask, um, was Amanda's passing the result of an accident? What do we need to know with this Oracle deck? What do we need to know about Amanda's death from accidentally, I think, falling down a flight of stairs? What do we need to know about that? Again, was it an accident or not? This deck always kind of sticks. I get freedom. Oop, and I get rejoice. Again, I feel like she's definitely happy to be free of the body. Um, and I, again, I'm not feeling like this is the husband happy because he's not with his wife. Not at all. Reconnect and worry. I think she's trying to address this, um, where people want to keep a worryful perspective, uh, because it's such a strange way to pass and the mess and everything. But this reconnect and worry makes me feel like she's saying reconnect to your intuition and let go of your worry because it's clouding your ability perhaps to judge the situation. Again, with her, with that, I almost feel like when I gave the with freedom and rejoice here, and I saw the world card and the wheel of fortune and said that it was part of her plan. Again, I'm feeling that here, that she feels like she's where she should be, that this was part of her plan. Fulfilled, it says, and listen. So I believe this is her saying that there wasn't anything sinister with this. It was an accident. And that it would seem to me, in her case, especially, she's saying law enforcement are doing a good job and working very hard. That keeps coming up, working very hard. And there might be a bit of information that comes yet, but that this is going to get wrapped up. This is going to get wrapped up. And people need to maybe put aside the conspiracy thoughts or whatever that they might have with this and pay attention and listen. Really listen to the evidence. She's also listened to the fact that feels fulfilled, that she lived her life, that it wasn't taken prematurely from her. She's also giving sanctuary and embrace. Very loving, that she's in a safe place, it says to me, that she's loved and feels secure, and that there's nothing amiss. She's not feeling like she doesn't have justice. She's not feeling that they're not doing their job or that the message hasn't been understood. But I think what she's saying is we need to listen and really listen and not just say what it is that we want it to be. I just try and keep an open mind. So again, I'm not getting anything like I would when I've gotten readings where somebody's had someone do something awful, you know? Again, I'm going to try with the Audacity deck, a really quick pull since I'm at 1439 with this. At least it seems I have condensed the information that I've been getting with the readings that didn't make it with sound or on camera that I did. Let's try this one. This is an unusual deck. It's got like the coffee and chicken nugget. It's a bit unusual, but sometimes unusual is good. It can surprise you, and then sometimes not. Let's just see very quickly. What does the Audacity deck have to share with regard to Amanda Antoni's mysterious passing? Accident? What do we need to know? Okay, I think I got that good and shuffled. The gardener. Okay. The zero of F's given. Okay. The moon and the empress. And that's her. I feel like she's showing to me that there was a lack of clarity and there was confusion for her in trying to make her way. And we have the dogs, with the moon. I think, again, it's another way of saying the dog probably tripped her. And I think she had a hard time navigating her way to get up the stairs. At some point, it may have been dark down there. I feel like she was down there for hours, and we don't know how long she was knocked out or could have been unconscious for after falling that way. It really does make me feel like her vision was obscured, and I'm sure by the damage done to um, her orbital bone and her front part of her skull, there was blunt force. I think thinking and reasoning may have been off as well. Probably, I'm sure, a concussion, to say the very least. I feel like that's her. That's the wife. That's the queen of abundance, the lover of Mother Nature, and such a caring, nurturing person. Let's see. I'm getting the death card, and the tea is being spilled. So again, this would either mean to me that there could be, again, yeah, some forthcoming information yet that would really, I feel like, be that last little bit of information. Let's just look at also very quickly. I'm going to look at the meaning of these specific cards. The life of the party. Okay. Um, let's just see. The sun, the high priestess, and she's smoking some herb. She liked to use her cannabis, the fiddle uh, leaf fig. All right. Before I get too far, let's just go with, okay, death and the tea. 9 and 5 and 9. Okay. So it says under death, amidst her smoldering bones and ashes, a woman is undergoing resurrection. And while the detritus of her former self smolders below her are roots that are anchored deep in the earth and the all-seeing eye of truth, grounding her eternally. Your message: use the light from your own fire to embolden yourself and others. Hold on to the light, even if you light yourself up in the process. This is prioritizing yourself, your health, emotional well-being, and above anyone else at this time. Okay. Well, me, again, this is her and her situation, her passing, and that she transitioned. That's the story there with the T. And she might be saying, this is why it happened. It was part of my plan. I'll get to the garden and 0 of F's given. Um, the T is your guts, the heaviness, the burden, all of it. Spill it. You've been soaking in the bitter tannin for so long, it's time to let go. Whatever it is that's marinating in your soul is no longer needed. This is about a card of this card is for release, sharing your burden with others, moving on. To me, I just keep getting the message that this was part of her plan to move on, like she had fulfilled her purpose. I also got the card of fulfillment with this deck, and or the other deck, the Heart's Eye Oracle. She got that. So again, I'm getting that feeling of like this was part of her agreement coming into this world. Um, this could also be that the gossip around her passing, but she just keeps showing to me that this was part of her agreement. Okay. Let me just have a little look here too. Okay. At the It's about prioritize your health, your emotional well-being above anyone else again at this time. And it's about not being around people that drain them and the need to take care of yourself first and to not always think of everyone else. And let me just see very quickly. We have garden. As I said, I'm just not getting what I would expect to get. Let's see, where is garden? Oh, the gardener, 20. All right. Just a few more pages here. There we are. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, so it says, you reap what you sow, time to focus on your thoughts. The flowers of all the tomorrows are in the seeds of today. In what ways are you nurturing your future? The thoughts we think are the seeds we plant. Are you growing flowers or weeds? Well, I think this shows that she accomplished something maybe that she needed to in that life of getting to where she was more confident in herself. I think she ended up getting that, but I do feel like when we're talking about her getting out of there, there was confusion. I feel like there was a problem with her being able to see how to do that. And there's bits that we'll never know exactly how it affected her thinking and her ability to move around. I mean, it could have caused her to have seizures while she was down there. A lot of times, that kind of a head injury can do things like that. Um, it's about, she just looks like she's trying to tell me, especially, no, this is something that was planned. So, again, she's talking about letting things go. I keep getting cards of letting things go, being free, and being satiated and complete. I'm really glad that that comes up. So I'm just not, one more time. You know what? I'm going to use another deck really quick. This is the Southern Oracle, Botanic Oracle. Okay, let's see. What else do we need to know about Amanda Antoni's passing this deck? Is this just an accident? How do we need to view it? Her passing. Was her passing just an accident, or was it something else, more sinister? Yeah, see. Good morning there. Boundaries, expectations, black snake root. Okay, boundaries, expectations, and responsibility, empathy. I think she takes responsibility and for her expectations as well. She has empathy. That's clearly showed up when she's having, like, showing cards about forgiveness and things and letting go. Hero, icon. This is the oak, and the oak is strength and life everlasting. It's eternal. Um, Maturity and experience. I think she's also looking at the age that they were then and the choices made. Power and command, leader and greatness. Again, I feel like she's, again, nodding, giving a nod to law enforcement. So we'll just have to wait and see if something further doesn't develop. There may be a man that uh, comes across some understanding that he shares or something along those lines. Um, but I'm just not getting, I'm getting actually the dog in the moon and feeling confused. And I think the dog had something to do with it. Unfortunately, just may have she may have startled the dog for all we know, or something else may have, and it startled her, and she unfortunately lost her balance. Yeah, I'm just, not getting anything about violence, um, or anyone else being there. I get cards of her being alone, with the exception of like the dogs. That comes up in the cards, even as I said with the moon. So why don't you share what you think below? And you can share if pulled cards on this case. But man, I'm telling you, with all the cards I'm getting, no, I'm just not getting that this was intentional. And I'm getting, in fact, that she forgives, I think, her husband for the poor judgment not to keep up with her and make sure that she was okay. But I can see in some ways why he didn't, because she had a habit of, you know, being very independent, and I just think he just didn't, his mind was on other things and he was not taking it as seriously as he should have. So what do you guys think? If you appreciate readings like this, please do give me a thumbs up. Again, I feel really quite confident to say that I don't believe that this was a criminal act. Um, I think it's a very unfortunate, sad tragedy, but she is at peace, and she definitely wants her family to be at peace and her husband to be happy, her uh, Lee. So I think that's the place I'll take too. I guess that's it. So please feel free to make a request. Uh, It's best to do it probably in the comments, not using my, not trying to send it to my email because my email is really uh, more from something private or something along those lines. Um, okay, I will let that be, and I will see you in the next video.